Welcome. My name is Denise, and I'm from Niagara Mountainside Therapeutic Services. So I'm a therapeutic recreationist. I am a member of Therapeutic Recreation Ontario, and I developed this program, these slides, with an intention to reach people that have dementia, whether it be from a stroke or Alzheimer's disease, just cognitive decline. And this is just a short interactive program to engage them. So, yeah. So this is Mind Matters. Welcome. Today in our Mind Matters, we are going to do a program called Finish the Phrase. So, as you might imagine, finish the phrase is just familiar phrases that you may remember, and we'll just talk about the completion of them and their meanings. So we'll start. Actions speak louder than what? What do our actions speak louder than? So think about it for a moment. Yeah. And if you said actions speak louder than words, then you're right. And if you had a different answer, then that's okay too. But what do you think this phrase is really saying when we say actions speak louder than words? Like, for example, I am now like playing with my ear. So my actions, speak louder. So my action may say, oh, she's a little bit nervous. And you're probably right that I am a little bit nervous doing this. But yeah, actions speak louder than words. What we do often adds to what we're really saying. So yeah, we'll go on and we'll do another one. A dime, yeah. And if you said a dime a dozen, that's the phrase that's familiar to me. So what does it really mean to you, a dime a dozen? Maybe because I'm not interacting directly with you, I'm on a video. A dime a dozen may refer to something that is very commonplace, something we see often, or something that maybe isn't really unique. It may have been at one time, but right now it's not. That we can, and it could be something that maybe isn't very expensive either. Oh, that's a dime a dozen. I can find it anywhere. Yeah. Yeah. The next one, all bark and no what? And of course, we're talking about often dogs, right? So all bark and no bite. So, talking about dogs, so some dogs are pretty yappy. But if we take this phrase and put it into a place where it relates to people, we can say some people are like that too. Sometimes some people are really they just like to kind of talk and talk and talk, but they're really not going to do anything. Or they talk a big storm, but they don't really go through their actions. Someone who may make cutting remarks, like really kind of negative type remarks. But really underneath, they have a very gentle personality. And these are all things, all bark and no bite. They're just a lot of talk, but they don't really mean what they're saying. That's what you're saying. I think you're right. An arm and a, yeah, an arm and a what? Something might cost you an arm and a what? And if you said an arm and a leg, you have got it. You hit the nail on the head with this one. And so when we talk about something costing an arm and a leg, it's just something that was really expensive. Or maybe a decision wasn't a very good one and it was a very costly decision. So, but usually it's referring to something that we purchase and it was very expensive. Let's move on. So this one just opens my heart. She is the apple of my, yeah, and if you said, she's the apple of my eye, and just think of somebody who's really special to you. Who is the apple of your eye? Who is that person in your life that might melt your heart and just feels really good to be with? Is it your spouse, your partner? Is it a child or a grandchild? Or just like a really dear friend? Who is this apple of your eye? It could be a he or a she. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Think about it. Who's special? And share with whoever you're with. The next one. As busy as a what? What is busy? Who is busy all the time? And maybe you were the one that was as busy as a, and if you said B, you are correct in this one. Somebody's always busying themselves. And if you look at bees going in and out of the hive, those little worker bees, they're always just, they fly out and they fly in and they fly out and they fly in. Yeah, they're just really busy all the time. Busy as a bee. Somebody who doesn't stop working. Oh, we're back to this one. We're back to the apples. An apple a day keeps the... And if you said doctor away, you are right. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. And yeah, and if you finish this phrase in this way, have you been eating your apples? You know, lots of fruit and vegetables through our day. It's really important. And and I think I did some research on this, and it says that I wrote here that though fruits and veggies are really good for us, there's really no specific proof that an apple a day does keep the doctor away. But eat them anyways, because they're delicious. And there's so many different varieties of apples. It's just great. And if you love apples, just imagine and think about all the different ways that you can eat apples. Okay? Yeah, and talk to your friend, talk to your partner about it, whoever's with you on this call. See, you know, talk about the different things you can do with apples. I learned recently that just apple slices with a sprinkle of cinnamon on them is just really delicious. Raw apples with cinnamon. Very good. Well, back to what? We can get back to a lot of things, can't we? We can get back to basics, you know, meaning just getting back to really the start of things, something really simple, and to simplify our life. Just going back to basics, going back to what you know. Or some people go back to school. The kids go back to school generally in September, but you know, during these COVID times, they can go back to school at any particular time. Yeah. And depending on what region you're in, what community you're in, your kids may or may not be going back to school. Or they may be back in school. Or we could go back to the drawing board, scrap what we started, and start all over again. And we could do that, just going back to the start and going back to the drawing board. Yeah. And if you really liked this program and thought it was a piece of what? Maybe you thought it was a piece of cake and it was really easy. Maybe it was delicious and sweet and good. And maybe you really enjoyed it. And maybe you'll connect with me and we'll do this again sometime. A piece of cake. Or maybe you would like to give me a piece of your mind. A piece of my mind. I am sharing a piece of my mind with you by creating this program. But maybe you'd like to give me a piece of your mind. It's a little bit different than a piece of cake, you know. But a piece of my mind is usually, it means that our ego is at work. I want to give you a piece. I want to give you some what do they call it? Some suggestions to use, or some, I haven't done that, yeah. Anyways, big time. So big time, and we're going to make sure that somebody knows exactly what we're thinking. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. I'm going to give you exactly what I think you need to know. So, yeah. So anyways, give me a piece of your mind. Let me know what you think. And I thank you. I thank you for being here. I thank you for being part of this little presentation that I'm doing, even if it's a video and you found it on YouTube. So I thank you for it. And I thank you for participating, for being here with your loved one being here with you. And, you know, I just thank you for being here and taking this time and opportunity. And until we meet again, I'd like to say goodbye. And again, my name is Denise. I'm from Niagara Mountainside Therapeutic Services. You can find me on www.niagaramountainside.com.